Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Coffee Chug, and this is a new series for the podcast called Fire for Your Coffee. What this is going to be a weekly, bi weekly podcast of me sharing real talk about real issues in education. This is an opportunity for me to begin to spread the message with things that I want to do, not just talk to talk, but actually be able to move in the agency and the action and not just do lip service to the many things that we see happening in education. For this first episode, what I want to do is focus on the topic of ownership of self. And so let me relate a little bit about what I mean by that. This ownership of self is for you to take the opportunities that you have in your life, in your job as an educator, and do something. It is time for educators to quit playing the I'm trapped card. The I can't do this. I can't do what I want to do because of the system. Because that's simply not true. Yes, there are parameters, but we have got to stop playing this victim card and doing what we know isn't working because it's always been done. It's taken me a long time to come to this conclusion, and I've been a little bit risky in things here and there, but I'm really starting to see it. We are amazing at making excuses. And so we hit this rut, this cycle, where we end up just blaming people. We blame our principal. We blame our colleagues. We blame the kids. Nobody understands. Kids don't want to work. They're getting worse. Whatever it might be. But we have to remember that when we point the finger, and you've heard this many times before, you've got four fingers pointing back at you. And I used to always say that, but I never really thought it applied to me because, nothing of what we do when we complain ever applies to us personally. It's never us. It's always other people. And so lately I've had some blog posts and shared some things online and social media. And my PLN has been very good to me. They've come out and they've reached out to me, making sure everything was okay. Want to know why I was frustrated or why some of the negative talk. Because my PLN is not just about how many Twitter followers I have, but these are about educators who are willing to have real conversations about education. And in there, a few of them have reached out because my PLN has also become a very powerful friendship network for me as well. And as I was talking to them, I was like, no, I'm fine, I'm good. There's nothing wrong. But by the third conversation, I started to go back and look, and what I realized in what I was doing is I was pointing the finger. I was making excuses, and I wasn't acknowledging myself. What I need to do is take the opportunities that that exist, and do something. That's what I want you to do. And so I'm done pointing fingers. I'm done making excuses. I'm going to be that change. And I want to challenge everybody listening to this thing today to join me on this. There are going to be things coming out. The first thing I'm going to be doing is launching an outstanding teacher PD. It's a year-long thing for us to get better. But this is what it is. We're done pointing the fingers. We're done settling for mediocrity. It is time that educators collectively around the nation, around the world, stand up and start to make the change. Because if we do that, it is an unstoppable force of nature. Because I refuse to believe that there's any educator in this world that doesn't want their kids to excel and be the best version of themselves. Now, we need to quit blaming others, take ownership for ourselves, and get it done. Quit being a victim to the system and start doing. You got to be 100% ownership of yourself and your actions in your classrooms. It is time that we meet the needs of our kids the way we know it needs to be done. And we will work within the confines of a system that needs to catch up to the times to make that happen. But the confines are not so restrictive that we can't do things. So I leave you with the challenge to join me. It is time to stop doing things the way we've been doing it because it's always been done. It's time to challenge the status quo. It's time to own our actions as an educator and quit satisfying yourself for being mediocre. Quit being in the same spot, your same life, in the same job, year after year. It is time to be a reason and an advocate for change, for educators and for students. I hope you join me.